That's the doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Hey, welcome to the People's Weekly. I'm Tim Best Buzz, and I'm here with Canadian Glenn. Remember us? We haven't had a show in a while, but we're back. What's up, Glenn?
Buenos dias.
Oh, you took a while to respond. I thought you had disappeared again.
No, once the show actually starts, then they turn off the crawler script and stuff stops fucking up on its own.
Yeah, for anyone listening, we had major technical difficulties a second ago. For no apparent reason, everything was fine, then everything wasn't fine, and now it's fine again, so we're here.
For now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sad we don't have a update on the view up here anymore. We always started out with the update on the view up here, Glenn. I don't even know what I'm going to do. So you had your last show, your grand finale, and everyone should go check that out, as well as all the other view up here's for the last 6 years that are on the archive.
That are left in the archive.
There are a lot in the archive.
Yeah, there are a lot that have disappeared from BTR. More might disappear from Blog Talk Radio. I don't know, because I'm not a quote-unquote premium member anymore, which means I quit paying them for their shit fucking platform. But, you know, whatever, the last almost 2 years, they all went to YouTube anyway. So, I mean, they're all still there. The best way to find out what shows are still available and what aren't is to go to the show website, theviewuphere.ca, and go into the archive section. Every episode is there with icons to click on for the archive. And if it's a dead link, well, then the show is gone, period. So
wow.
That's about all I can say on that.
Yeah, so go to the archive, theviewuphere.ca.
Yeah.
And grab as many as you can, because they're going to be collector's items, and you can sell them all on eBay for a lot of money in about 20 years.
Sure you will. Wow. Yeah, they'll be worth what a 2019 nickel is worth today. And what it's worth in 20 years? Yeah, same thing for my stuff.
There you go.
Zero is zero.
So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to get over today. Yeah, we got like 5 different topics, so we should get started. Before we do, though, what you want to go over to our sponsors, Glenn?
Today's sponsor for me is Death Bubba.
You're still on the Death Bubba? Wow.
Hey, price was right, man.
That's cool. I'm on Blackwater OG is my sponsor, along with a stizzy full of what is that? Granddaddy Purple, GDP. So there you go.
Well played.
So yeah, first topic. You ready?
Sure.
All right. Last week, the United States Senate finally passed a bill recognizing the Armenian Genocide. Dictator Erdogan was livid and threatened to have Turkey recognize the Native American genocide. So, great news all around? Yes, but no, because Trump went in. I just read this a little while ago. He refused. Trump in the White House, Republicans refused to acknowledge the Armenian Genocide, because how dare Erdogan acknowledge the Native American genocide? Why not acknowledge all genocides? That's what I'm saying. And make sure they never happen again, because both of these fuckers could easily cause a genocide or support one.
This is just more pissing in the sandbox stuff. That's all this is. I mean, you want to talk about genocide? They're both guilty. They should both be recognized. They should both be acknowledged. So, but there's a funny way that just doesn't seem to happen too often. But this is also political. It's not to make any sort of ethical statement or to try and directly embarrass the other one. I think it's about domestic politics. I mean, the reason they're coming out against Turkey is because Turkey's not listening enough. That's all. So at home, you get clowns like Secretary of State Mike Pompous, who likes to group everybody together. Now all of a sudden, because of Syria, throw in some misinformation, now somehow Turkey is closer to Iran than we thought, just because, it's the bullshit of the day. So, we have to remember what they did to the Armenians. Suddenly, we have to remember, because we can use it as a factor. And then Erdogan just, he pretty much shuts it down at home. He says, oh yeah, these are the guys that are going to tell us that we committed genocide. And I think it's pretty common knowledge that among the Turkish citizens, no, there's, it's still not overly acknowledged, which is common. It's like the Afrikaners never thought they were practicing apartheid either. So, same kind of thing.
They don't even realize they're in the middle of causing a Kurdish genocide.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing. Recognizing the Armenian genocide, maybe back in Ankara, they think, okay, wait a minute, they're coming around. This is going to be a side attack. They're going to say, see, they already did it to the Armenians. And what are they doing to the Kurds? That's a later thing. So, they're just fighting back and saying, hey, we fuck up, you fuck up. Let's just keep that on the table here. But, this is just political for the American government to say anything. There was a time when the American government would say something about this at the UN. That would be the way to poke the other guy with a stick without making a circus out of it. Well, these days, circus is all that matters. And I think this is the same thing that Pompeo did when suddenly he came out and he was so upset about what's happening to the Uyghurs in Xinjiang. Everybody's known about it for fucking years, including Pompeo when he was at intelligence agencies. So shut up. It's just political. That's all it is. And it's sad that these things get used for politics, but consider the source, it's not really a surprise.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. They go all crazy. This person's a Holocaust denier. What a horrible person. But you deny the Armenian genocide, or I guess the Native American genocide, and that's just par for the course. No worries. I mean, there was a lot more than one thing that we should remember. Every genocide, the ones happening now, the ones that happened since the beginning of humanity, you know what I mean? And try to make sure they don't happen again, or nothing like them happens again. So I don't even see why it would be a problem for any country to recognize the Native American genocide. I think we should recognize it, as well as the other genocides. It's just, it's fucking stupid, man. And you're right, it is all politics. But, people should be educated to learn about what happened in the past, because similar things are happening now and will happen in the future. And if people don't know what to look out for, or what signs are coming, or, oh, this seems familiar from what I've,
Yeah.
you're not going to stop. You're not even going to see it coming.
That's right. And I think it's also par for the course that it doesn't matter when or where this sort of thing has happened. The last place to ever accept that it was wrong is the place and the people who did it. They're the last ones to ever admit to it. The rest of the world can say that, but they won't. And that's pretty much where Turkey is on the Armenians. And it's pretty much where the Americans are on the indigenous as well. And Canada's right there with them. I mean, there's a whole lot of the world that accepts that North America was a complete wipeout of the people who lived here by the Europeans. I mean, most of the world will say, yeah, they see the logic in that. They see the point. But yet here in North America, nope. You don't talk about that. You're radical. You talk about that.
Oh, man, such crap.
But it's typical.
Yeah. Anything else on this, or you want to move on?
No, I'm just disappointed that these type of events are becoming part of domestic politics in the Trump era. That's what's sad.
Yeah, I don't know. I see a lot of Armenians that love Trump and love America more than anything, and I'm like, wake up, pay attention. But they won't. So.
Well, I just look at those people just like the greasy Cubans in Miami who are so against the Cuban government. Same type of thing. Like they don't have any skin in the game. Give me a break.
Yeah.
But then they get paid by the CIA too. So there's a lot more similarities, I guess. Yeah, we're done with that one though.
He's like, this will just go on and on.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 2, Democrats and Republicans have once again come together as in a united effort to pass more bills criminalizing any voices critical of Israel's apartheid of the Palestinians, as well as an attempt to squash any support for the BDS movement. Like it was a bipartisan effort. All these Democrats you guys love so much, they're full of shit. Just like the Republicans. So yeah, they totally give full support to Israel and what they're doing to the Palestinian people, probably because the Bible or something, and they want to punish people and institutions and businesses that support BDS. And for anyone who doesn't know, BDS is boycott, divest, sanction, right?
Yep.
And yeah, it's just saying basically as long as you're treating Palestinian people as second or third class citizens or whatever, we're not going to buy your products and we're not going to support your BS country, your pop-up country.
Your paper country.
What?
Your paper country.
Yeah. Occupy Palestine.
Well, I just find it, rather amazing that it's pretty much acknowledged in a lot of circles, especially in economic circles, is what finally broke the apartheid government of South Africa was the global boycott. That's what finally made something happen. That's the fairy tale that white economists like to spread around about that. It's like, well, yeah, we ended it. What do you mean we were responsible for it? Never mind everybody who made money off it for decades. Just like always, when your card is up, your card is up. It doesn't matter if you're in the club or not. If it's over, it's over. That was all fine then, but, it's been recognized from one corner of the earth to the other that Israel is an apartheid country. So how come it's not okay this time? What's so different about it?
I think I can answer that pretty easily. It has to do with religion.
I would have to agree with that.
Yeah, you have these Christians in the United States and other places as well that are depending on Israel to bring on the end of the world in their little fictional book. And that's what they really want. They want the end of the world to come. So the hero could come back and they can all fly up into heaven and hee-haw.
Then you also...
because you know how those people are.
And then you take in the other side, which is groups like AIPAC and, Council of Foreign Relations, et cetera, et cetera. We know which way they lean as well. So, yeah, it's just seems to be a completely different circumstance all of a sudden because it's not on the southern tip of Africa and it's not, over 90% black people. I think that's also got something to do with it. But, nobody really wants to highlight that sort of thing. But, there's a global thing going on here, though, too. It's not just the U.S. where this stuff is showing up a lot louder than it's been for a while. You take a look at the South American countries that have had recent changes in government, be they quasi-legal or a coup, countries like Ecuador, Bolivia, Colombia, they all have some sort of either arms or security agreements with Israel. And they also have new laws that are supposedly aimed at quote-unquote anti-Semitism. And, a lot of people there say that it's the same results. You can't protest Israel. You can't organize against Israel. All of a sudden, it's a fucking crime in your country to organize against Israel. So this is a thing that's going on in a lot of places. It's even been tried in Canada. Didn't get very far. But we also see it coming up on a smaller scale. There's something called the IHRA that is behind most of this crap. And it's a definition of what anti-Semitism is. And it's a definition that, to me and to a lot of people, says Zionism is the only thing that is allowed. Anything that is against Zionism, we will prosecute. And they tried it at the city level in Canada, and it's been defeated. But it's out there. It's going to be popping up everywhere they can get it to vote somewhere. It's going to show up. So I'm glad it's not going under the radar, put it that way. But this is a well-coordinated action.
Yeah, it's people are stupid. What the hell's going on? My computer is making noises. Yeah, you got a country full of stupid people. That's just how it kind of works. You said it didn't go far in Canada. That's because y'all are a little bit more educated, or the masses are more educated, I guess, than they are here. But that religion is a motherfucker, man. It gets in there and people will do anything,
Yeah.
And now you got these reports that, the right wing, it said support for BDS has traditionally been a left wing thing, but now the right wing's getting involved because of their anti-Semitism. You see what I'm saying? Hating the way a country treats a group of people is a whole lot of different than saying screw your culture. You know.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Like no one cares if you're Jewish or whatever, what your religion is, what your culture is, or any of that. People do care how you treat others. Okay, sorry about that. It looks like I'm still live. We had an issue. I'm getting Canadian Gen back right now, I hope. Sorry about that screw up. Okay, we're still live and we're back.
Are you sure? Because
I checked it, Glenn. I'm playing. Wait a minute. I'm checking this. If we're not live, then we need to stop because it sounds. I thought we were still live. So if anyone's listening, give us a second. We're gonna work this all out.
because on the chat page it said the show ended.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I'm going to the website right now, and that'll tell us if we're live or not. If we hear ourselves, we're live. Because according to... I'm turning the music back up for the people. Give us one more second, y'all. I'm going to mute us. Sorry about this if we are live. Okay, so we appear to be live.
Wow.
So yeah, we were talking about the BDS thing.
Yeah.
Before everything went crazy, but we're pretty much done with that.
Wow, that's fucked up, man. Because, like I said, I was watching the show page on Spreaker, and it said the show ended. Wow. No, it didn't.
Let me see if I hear.
No, we're live, man. We're live.
You checked it again? Because, yeah, I thought we were. I checked it. It seemed like we were live.
Yeah, you go to the show page, and it says live.
Oh, okay.
So, unless, everybody's fucking with us because they got nothing better to do.
Well,
thank
you to anyone who stuck around through the technical difficulties.
Holy fuck.
We're back. Yeah, let's run through these other ones. Like this one's kind of related in a way. The Supreme Court has declined to rule on criminalizing homeless people for living on the streets, making it a tiny bit harder for police to continue to brutalize people for just living, but most of us suspect the police won't stop. Yeah, they were trying to make it criminal for people to live on the streets, and they're still trying. They're trying to say if there's shelters, they should be in the shelters, and they shouldn't be on the streets. You can't sleep by a business. You can't sleep by a park. You can't sleep by a school. You can't sleep. There's all these rules. You can't sleep in a car. Just basically making it like impossible for people, to live. And I mean, instead of criminalizing people in poverty that are forced to live on the street, why not criminalize the people like Steve Mnuchin and other people who caused this problem? Why aren't they in prison? Why aren't these I don't know. It just seems like these people that crashed the real estate market in California and other places, why aren't they in prison? There's people living on the streets due to that, and there's thousands of people living on the streets due to that kind of stuff.